Mnangagwa, or rather the faction of Emerson Mnangagwa within ZANU-PF, which is seemingly in control of ZANU-PF at the moment, is looking left, right, and center to try and actually uproot each and every person linked to the enemy, to the enemies, or rather the enemy of Emerson Mnangagwa. In this regard, identified as Saviour Kasukwere. I think Saviour Kasukwere has been giving hardest period ever. Guess what? He has striked back. And how do they strike back? By obviously instructing the institutions they control to act in such a manner, and this time around targeting the legal attorney of Saviour Kasukwere, who was also assisting him during the previous elections. Of course, he did not contest these elections because Mnangagwa perceived him as a threat, and as such, laws that Kasukwere laws were introduced to make sure that he is barred from participating in the previous elections, because Mnangagwa saw Kasukwere as a threat that could actually be used by the military to oust Emerson Mnangagwa. Greetings and welcome on your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. According to the story that I have on my desk, is that Kasukwere lawyer, that is Sunday, the woman whom I have just inserted her picture on this live broadcast, was barred from practicing as a firm, and her firm was put under curatorship. The Law Society of Zimbabwe has stopped Jacqueline Sunday, according to a ZANU-PF page on X called ZANU-PF Patriots. It says Jacqueline Sunday, a lawyer for failed. This is how they've put it, for failed Saviour Kasukwere. Failed politician Saviour Kasukwere from practicing after placing her firm under the control of a curator. She faces charges over an alleged US 85,000 property scam, with the case remanded to 25 August 2025. So you can tell that in all this, it's actually Mnangagwa revenging to this vulnerable woman in this case, and taking away what matters the most. Just imagine you have invested to be a lawyer, you have invested to actually make money through proper means, not stealing like these thieves from government, but getting money through proper means, working very, very hard for your family, and getting educated, and actually aligning with the laws of the country to practice as a lawyer. But because you accept a client that is actually a threat to the current regime, then they go after you. Definitely they will find something to use against you. In this case, they are accusing her of what? Property scam. She faces charges over an alleged 85,000 property scam, with the case remanded. You see, they will always create something on everybody, because they are in charge. They can actually create or concoct charges. I think this woman, Jacqueline Sande, she is punished for actually representing Saviour Kasukwere and becoming the chief election agent of Saviour Kasukwere. That is the problem that led or put actually her company, that is the food, the bread of her children, in trouble. This is how Mnangagwa is, especially to the people of Zimbabwe. If you are seen to be actually even associating with the perceived enemies of Emerson Mnangagwa, in this case being Saviour Kasukwere, then this is what they are doing. Otherwise, if this woman did not represent Saviour Kasukwere, if this woman actually did not become the chief elections agent for Saviour Kasukwere and the spokesperson. All this would not have actually befallen her. That is the dirty politics that is practiced in Zimbabwe by the ZANU-PF regime in this regard of Emerson Mnangagwa. And especially these days, taking it into consideration that Mnangagwa is seemingly under pressure, and there is absolutely, he is sensing it. Even I can tell that, his days are numbered. In fact, his time has elapsed. He's just forcing things. So he's going to be very, very ruthless. He's going to be very, very dangerous, especially to the perceived opponents of his, and to anyone who actually decides to oppose. Everybody is vulnerable within as well as outside the borders of Zimbabwe, because this is a person who is running a syndicate of criminals across the world, so they can reach out to anyone, anywhere. But I've always said, should people be scared of that? No, we shouldn't be scared of a human being. After all, he's just a human being. He's going to be removed as a president. Just watch the space. Within the very shortest space of time, I know, I strongly believe that Mnangagwa is going to be uprooted. And these are the last kicks of a dying horse. He is highly panicking. He sees that his days are really, really numbered. But the problem at the moment was with Blessed Geza this time around using a different tactic. It is making Emerson Mnangagwa to have sleepless nights. It's not even giving him a clue of what is the plan of action this time around. They're just quiet watching him doing whatever he does, and sometimes surprising him, like what they did during the Zimbabwe Defense Forces Day. He had the military personnel singing the song of Blessed Geza, and for a moment he just freeze. I was watching that video because that song on its own, when it is sung, it brings nightmares to Emerson Mnangagwa. So it's quite sad that a young woman with a potential, to actually provide for her family, she is being targeted because of having Saviour Kasukwere as her client. This is the dirty politics that is not wanted at all. That is not, the lawyers, just like any other profession, should be free to accept any client, regardless of the judgment of the society that may have on that particular client. That is, by the way, their job. They accept anyone. If anyone knocks their doors, they don't have to ask, are you the enemy of the president or not? They have to represent each and every the client of theirs, with uttermost effort. That is what they saw in when they are actually admitted to be attorneys. It's very, very unfortunate that this is happening, but it was expected and anticipated. Mnangagwa wants bootlickers, wants praise singers, that he wants all the citizens of Zimbabwe to be just like Daniel Gao. We cannot be like that. Come on, you should get a life. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, guess what, you become the very first one to watch us. Look out for my album. It is coming on Monday. On Monday, I think I'll be addressing you on my first video on Monday as to the time. My team is working very, very hard, very, very hard. It will be an 8-track album, and this time around with a video. So look out for that album. You can financially support this